Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of Dungeons and Dragons, the Seregen campaign, episode 42, first episode of the year. Welcome. It seems like it's been forever, but it's only been a week. Just even though it's been a week, it's also been a year to insert that age-old joke. Um, I'm the Wombat of DM, and my faithful compatriots below me are here and ready for battle and dungeoning. Except for one, our good old friend Belzian, the half-elf monk. He is currently going to be unavailable for half the session once again. Hopefully this will be resolved soon, but until then, we faithfully wait for his return. Followed by him, we have...
Me. I'm Avidus. I'm playing Roger, the Wood Elf Assassin, and I'm here to make bad decisions with even murkier information.
I'm playing Ulrich, the human paladin, here to make good decisions with clear information.
I am Jaeger. I play Yarvik, the Halfling Ranger, and I am trying to formulate a plan for creating the cult of Little Belzy. Excuse me, Little Belzy.
I'm a Zippo, and I'm distracted by shiny things at the moment. And if we find more shiny things, my horde will keep growing. Which reminds me, that bull was shiny, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm sad I killed it.
But did you kill it? Let's talk about last session. Session 41 consisted of us fighting a centipede, finding a ravine, getting over the ravine creatively, navigating a maze, finding a bottomless hole, which was bottomless only because the top was also its bottom. We also fought a gorgon, which Zippo managed to creatively destroy in some fashion. Turned it into a cat. Lightning lured it 10 feet closer to him off of a cliff, and it turned back into a gorgon and fell into the water and out of sight. The group navigated the maze, got the doorknob that was falling endlessly in the Well of Eternity. That's the hole that I mentioned earlier. And then Ulrich played leapfrog over some traps before finding a big old pile of bones set into the stone. Walked over said pile of bones, and something started bubbling out of it. He tried to escape it by running down the corridor he had chosen, only to find that he had not chosen wisely and found a dead end. So he's currently watching this creature form, is trying to hide from it. It so far has not noticed him, and he's letting the group know that he's in potential danger and that this way might not be the right way, or it might be the right way, but in either case, he is in trouble. And that's where we left it off last time. So, from there, while Ulrich was kind of investigating everything, I know the rest of the group was kind of waiting to see what would happen down there while he was kind of scouting ahead. So the question is, hearing those words from Ulrich in your minds, what do you do?
Well, obviously we go help him.
Yeah, Zippo says as he's slowly putting a shiny thing down.
Wombat, did the traps make noise when we set them off when Ulrich and I were testing them out last session?
What would happen is the pressure plate would be pushed, and magical arrows made out of pure energy shot out of the sides from what looked like small crystals set in the wall, and then the trap reset. It didn't really make any noises when it happened. It just kind of shot out. Maybe there was a sizzle of energy, but that's about it.
Okay. I'll let the party know over the rings that I'm gonna do some acrobatics to get here to there and try and help out Ulrich. It would be great if they could follow me across.
Before we do that, Zippo is going to so that's perfect. This area was like a dead end, right?
Correct.
Okay. Zippo's going to leave Brunhild here
Okay.
and have her set because he doesn't want her to go through the trap and get hurt or go fight whatever it is and get hurt.
Yeah, makes sense. I like it.
And let's see here. Yeah, because I can't get her down into the bag without Ulrich being here. I will leave her there. I'll give her a couple of the tree lizards. Or what were they? Tree dragons?
Bark dragons.
Bark dragons. I knew it was something to do with the tree. So yeah, I'll
It's
give her a couple of the
it's a
bark
creative
dragons
way
down
of
with her.
saying alligator.
Gotcha.
If that helps you remember it.
It does. So once I give her the bark dragons, then the Zippo will be ready.
So she's going to be right there by the intersection or further into the...
Yeah, I'm gonna leave her right about here. That way, if when we're coming back around, I can see her
Okay.
in case something happens or something. Like it would once we get here, in case something pops out, I can look back and just come back as fast as possible.
Okay, makes sense.
Alrighty. Anybody else have anything to do before I go over there?
I may as well go too.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and jump across these traps. Is there anything you want me to roll, Wombat?
So your first one is going to be a free jump to get to here, but after that, every 5-foot jump's going to take a roll. It's going to be a DC, I think it was 18 last time. I can check
roll
that though. Yeah, you can
Was it
roll
athletics or acrobatics?
athletics or
Okay.
acrobatics. Yeah.
We'll be rolling acrobatics for that. So 50-50 each time for me, it looks like. Well, we passed the first one.
Yeah.
Now one more. And just barely squeeze by the second one. Oh, there are more.
Yep. That one the first one you get a free on,
Okay, and
then
one more. And just barely make it past that one too.
Correct.
All right, I'll go. So the first one's free, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna do. I'm going to do. You said it was athletics or
Acrobatics.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna use athletics.
Nice.
So Roger, as you jump across the corner, you see that thing.
Yep, I sure do.
I'll describe it once everybody else has gotten to where they're gonna go. But when you see that, what do you do?
Instinctively, I'm going to hide and kind of peek around the corner. I will make space for Yarvik, who's falling pretty close behind me.
Okay. So make a stealth check while Yarvik's doing that. Go ahead, Yarvik. Okay.
I was kind of waiting. I figured that way we'd have our rolls kind of all together.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a 33 on stealth.
Yeah, I see that.
So I rolled a 14 on the second one.
Okay, on this one here. All right. You take 10 damage as energy bolts lash into you from either side. So this next one you get for free, and then you have one more to make. So roll one more. All right, cool. You see that thing.
Oh yes, that does indeed look angry. I will also attempt to stealth.
Okay. Duly noted.
Okay, I have
Oh,
two questions.
You're
He's rolled
blowing my
good.
cover, Yarvik.
Go ahead.
It's just gonna be one of those nights.
My two questions are, or one of my two questions are, could Belzian carry me?
Not and jump.
That's why I'm asking, because if he can carry me, there's no trap, like the traps don't activate on the wall, right?
No.
Well, Belzian can just walk along the wall as a monk. As long as he's moving, you gain the ability to move along vertical surfaces across liquids on your turn without falling during the move. So Belzian could just run across the wall.
Ulrich, I've given you control of Belzian. So that's a thing that you'll have the capability of doing, but I'm just checking to see if he has that feature and trait. Let's see here.
It should be unarmored movement.
Unarmored
He's ninth
movement.
level,
Your
right?
speed increases 15 feet while you're not wearing armor or wearing a shield is unarmored movement.
I'll bring up his character sheet. Apologies.
You're fine.
On the D&D Beyond things, I had to look up
Unarmored
monk,
movement
say monk.
improvement. You can move along
Yeah.
vertical surfaces and across liquids on your turn without falling during the move.
Which does.
Wow.
Yeah. Monks have some fun stuff like that.
That's crazy. Along water too. That's great. I love that. Love to see it.
So, I mean, he should just be able to run the length of this.
Yeah. Well, he's got 45 movement, right? So.
Damn it, he's faster than me now.
Well, he's been faster.
He's
he
gonna
can get to here
Okay.
with one, but he could just stop at one and then do the next.
Right. So he would stop there and then just go again.
So just give me an athletics check to have to Zippo then. Come here, little buddy, he says.
Wait, I'm giving you an athletics check?
I'll do it for Belzian. That's fine.
Sorry, no. I thought you said Zippo give you an athletics
No.
check. I apologize.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Perfect. All right, Zippo, you are carried. And are you also going to be hiding, both of you?
Yeah, I don't really see why he wouldn't.
Yeah, Belgian,
Yeah.
I rolled his self. He got a 19. Go ahead, Zippo. Oh, 20 works too. I'll let you roll for him. That's fine. I let you roll for the other things. I don't know why I thought to do it now.
Hey, I mean, you were nearly there.
Yeah. All right, cool. So everybody rolls stealth and is hiding amongst the different, like pressed against the wall as they're seeing this monstrosity, kind of looking around the room, peering down the other passages one by one, slowly making its way to inspect yours, but is currently not facing you. So let's talk about this creature. I mentioned him last time, him or her, them. It is a tentacled mass of what seems to be massive blood clots and skinless flesh with pieces of bone sticking out. You also see hints of vapor, mist, and shadow swirling in between each of these. The tentacles remind you somewhat of the wall, but they're redder, not black like the tentacles of the wall. But they don't have like the grasping suckers or anything like that. Instead, what would have been like if you'd ever seen a squid's tentacle before, in character, that is, it's similar to that in nature, except it's like pustules instead of grippers. So it's just a monstrosity of disgust. You can smell decay and death emanating from it, even from where you are. Yarvik, it's strongest for you. As I said, there's pieces of bones, looks like ribs and things sticking out of it, of smaller creatures, and it's coming out of what looks like the giant eye socket of the skull that's kind of implanted in the ground. Yeah, the giant skull, I should say. And I don't mean giant as in giant the species, I mean as in it's a very large skull.
Ew.
Indeed. I guess we'll ask Ulrich on the rings, where are you, man? Relative to this giant, disgusting flesh thing.
Well, you know what? When I came out of the room, I hung like an immediate rat. No, yeah, hung an immediate rat from that room. So I would have to turn immediately left if I came back.
Is there anything back there?
My doom, probably.
I mean-
There's Jack Diddley back here, except for nowhere to run.
If you can distract it, there are a bunch of us over here that it doesn't seem to have noticed.
All right, fuck it.
Although, if you want me to shoot it before you do anything, now's the time.
Jeez, I don't really know what that's gonna do for us, but I can distract it. And, because if you shoot it, it's just gonna come after you, right?
Well, if I shoot it and then you jump up and say something.
I don't know about that. I feel like we're dividing its interests that way.
No, maybe it'll just blame you.
It might, but it could also just blame me if I threw something at it.
Did Zippo do the
Yes.
mind nuke thing again? It worked really well on the Hydra.
That's a good point. You got that hand, Zippo?
Yeah, I can do it about twice.
Well, how about this? We got the upper hand at the moment. I'll see if I can't lead it this way, and we'll pincer it. Y'all swoop in there behind it.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Let us know when to attack, General.
I'll let you know when to attack specifically. Ulrich is going to cast a spell.
Okay.
That spell is going to be... Oh, he still has his Armor of Agathis on, unless an hour has passed since that.
It has not passed yet.
Awesome. So he's still got that.
I'd say it's probably been about... So you put that on with the Gorgon, right?
No, before the Gorgon with the Centipede.
Okay, with the Centipede. Okay, so I would say it's been about 45 minutes since then.
Okay, cool.
So you'll have
Well,
it for this fight, and probably that's it.
Nice. It'll take 10 damage if it touches me. Yeah, I think Ulrich is just going to. God, I keep forgetting that paladins don't have cantrips. It's the one drawback of paladins.
Are you planning to go get grappled for science?
No, Ulrich's going to pull out his crossbow. He's going to fire a crossbow at this thing.
Oh, so you're casting the spell crossbow. Got it. Cool.
Yeah, casting the spell crossbow, the wizard's favorite.
Crossbow bolt. It's like lightning bolt.
Or firebolt, even.
Bum, 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 bum. Critical fail.
All right. You shoot at the beast with trembling hands as you like taking on this gargantuan mass of flesh alone to distract it for the rest of your party. And the stench or the appearance of it or whatever just kind of shakes you a bit. And you end up firing it downward and into the ground itself. It skitters along the ground. And the creature swings its mass toward your passage, searching for, it kind of latches its gigantic eye in the direction of you, and it looks right down at the crossbow bolt, and its eyes narrow, and it moves forward, and the mass that's taking up 15 by 15 foot block of space just slowly starts to condense and worm its way into the passage toward you.
Oh, good. And can I use a second attack, or?
Yeah.
Great. Try that again. Oh, you know what? Fucking loading property. God damn it. I used the second attack to reload.
Okay. Which makes sense because, I guess I did talk about it moving too.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, it's probably initiative time.
That sounds reasonable.
Did that go?
Next time I'm shooting it first.
Well, it doesn't know you're here, right? It doesn't know any of us are here, so we do. I don't know. If you're a rogue, do you get like a back attack or an ambush bonus? Or
It's called
anything
sneak
like that?
attack, yeah.
Yeah, I get sneak attack, and as an assassin, if it hasn't acted in combat yet, I automatically have advantage against it.
But for me, for a non assassin-y, rogue-y kind of character.
Nope.
Well, if you're hidden, you have advantage.
You have advantage, yeah.
Got it.
Don't forget to roll for Belzian too, Ulrich.
I did. It just came in with my name, so
I
rolled
see.
really, really well.
Is that the
both-
4?
Mine's the 4.
You're the
Belton's
9.
the 9.
Yeah, got
Yeah.
it. 9. Huh.
Feeling really good about my dice tonight.
Well, I mean, get them out of the way
Okay.
earlier, right?
Yeah.
Zippo got a 9 as well. Zippo, your dexterity is what? Plus 4. Belzian, do you want Belzian or you to go first?
I say Belgian can.
All right,
He's a monk. I figured he'd be a
perfect.
little
It's in that
faster.
order already, so that works out.
Cool.
All right. All right, so it's the top of the round, and it's Roger's turn, of course.
All right. We shoot it.
Okay.
And you know what? I'll knock one of my fire arrows for this one.
Okay.
I assume this doesn't count as surprised anymore.
No,
Or does
it doesn't.
No. I have advantage on this attack, so I
You
might
do.
as well see if we roll any better.
You know what?
We didn't.
So it hasn't acted yet. It's just moved. It hasn't attacked yet. It's not aware that you're there. How does the wording read for assassinate?
Assassinate says the following.
Yeah.
You have advantage on attack rolls against a creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet, and a hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit.
Okay, it's aware that
believe
there's
I'm-
danger nearby and it's searching it out. I'm not going to say it's surprised, but it's definitely you definitely have advantage on it.
Yeah.
I'll make that decision now. All right.
Does a 23 hit?
A 23 does. Yes, it does. Yeah. Go ahead and roll damage.
Sure
That's
hope so.
11. So 11 damage to the creature, right?
Hold up. No, the 11 was the.
Second attack. Got it.
Yeah, the not a second attack. The advantage roll.
Okay. Fair.
This is the damage, and then I need to add 1d6 fire for the fire arrows.
Yeah. Very nice hit. 28.
Sweet. Yeah, 28, 6 of which is fire, if that matters. And then it doesn't look like there's a lot of space for us to get in melee with it, so I'm going to hang back here in front of Zippo and keep my bow out. And I'll use my rogue bonus action to be sad. I guess I could try to hide again. And that'll be my turn.
All right. All right, it's turn. Now it got hit by fire. It was starting to go down this path. But as soon as it gets hit by that attack, it turns and swarms around the corner. Its eyes locked down the path. Okay, looking at the stealth checks from earlier. Zippo, you rolled a 16. It sees you and starts swarming forward.
Yay!
You see its eyes lock onto you, and your skin grows cold as it advances very quickly into the chamber.
As it looks like it's coming this way, Zippo's gonna be like, say, Infernal. I didn't hit you with fire, but I promise.
Let's see if it has Infernal. It does not. Of course, it doesn't get that far because it comes into contact with a different character. It's kind of swarming through the passage, so despite you hiding at this point, Yarvik, you kind of are in its path, and it comes into contact with you and then notices you.
Okay, so do I get an attack of opportunity since it's moving into my space?
So it actually stops there, and instead of attack Zippo, focuses on attacking you. If it tries to leave your square, then you will get an attack of opportunity.
Okay, so it's only when something is leaving your space.
Correct, yes. Okay. In surprise, it kind of lashes out at you. It makes an attack. One of its tendrils comes out and kind of pulls back and stabs at you. What's your AC?
16.
Okay, I hit you. Make a Constitution saving throw, please. Okay, you make the save. You take 26 points of damage as a flesh limb with a boned spike at the end stabs into you. You see some sort of liquid dripping off of the bones, and based on your Constitution save, you think you know that probably wasn't a good thing to have go into you, but for now you seem to be okay.
Ow.
Actually, excuse me, 22 points of damage, not 26. A little bit less ow, but ow nonetheless.
So, okay, hold on a second. Heal 4.
Yeah, heal 4.
All right.
A second attack, it attacks you again and deals another 20 damage to you.
Okay, so Yarvik is down. I now have a thing called failure success. I don't know what that is.
Yep, so every round you'll need to roll a death save, and if you fail, you'll go down 1. If you fail 3 times in your death saves, you die. So currently you are in a dying state. You collapse on the ground.
Bleh. So, what now?
So that would be its turn. It goes to you. For you, I'll need you to make a death saving throw. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Can I get a reminder, Ulrich?
Straight up and down D20.
Yeah.
If you hit a 10 plus, you succeed. If you hit a 20, you come back up with 1. If you hit a 1, you have 2 failures.
All right, so roll a d20, please.
Also, each additional hit that it makes after you've gone down like this counts as a failure as well.
Okay, so that's 1 failure.
Okay, I see it's got a little tracking thing here.
Yeah.
This is very complicated. All right.
You're okay for right now, as long as you don't get attacked again. Belzian's turn.
Okay, Belzian is going to say something like, "Oh no, hang in there, little buddy," and is going to, I think, just attack the creature, because we're gonna hope that I can stun it. So he'll make an attack, unarmed strike. Seriously. Roll +8. Hey, it's a crit.
Mm. Very nice.
So that's going to be 2d6 plus 4. For 10 damage. Believe that's magical, right? Has it gotten to that point? Should have. Your fists are magic.
It should be.
One would imagine.
Yeah.
And then try and he's got to use a key point for this, so that's 1 key point down. For a stunning strike, con save, please.
What do I need to beat?
16, right? Sorry.
I beat it.
Okay. Well, he will do it again.
Damage on the first one doubled.
Yeah, I did double damage on that.
He rolled 2d6 instead of 1.
Gotcha.
Yep. 19 this time.
That's a hit.
Okay. And that's 5 magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And again, 16 con save, please.
I succeed again. The monstrosity seems to keep shrugging off those blows, almost like it kind of the tendril recoils, falls away, and reforms as if nothing happened because it's a malleable mass of limbs and flesh and blood and yeah.
Well, burn a third key point. This is a dire situation, and Belzian has no way to heal people. So, third key point is going to be 2 more unarmed attack.
It's a hit.
16.
And a hit.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So, grand total of 15 additional magical bludgeoning damage between those 2 hits.
Okay.
That was 3 key points spent. Bonus action spent. He is going to. How bad is Belzian?
He's at 61.
Yeah.
2/3.
He's already done that. Yeah, he's just gonna stay.
Okay. Ulrich, for confusion purposes, just note that it is crammed into the space, so this corner that you are seeing in terms of your character, you can't actually see the creature.
See. Yeah. Yep. Noted.
Fun thing with tight passages and big monsters that squish, right?
Yeah.
All right, Zippo.
All right, time to hit it with the old Hydra special.
Okay.
I need it to make a intelligence saving throw, please.
What do I need to
It's
beat?
gonna be the 17.
I rolled a 17, but I my modifier is a -4, so I get a 13.
You take 31 psychic damage.
All right. And it's incapacitated, correct?
Let me make sure. Failed save takes incapacitated. Yep.
All right. Anything else?
Let's see. So that was that. I could move, but I don't really have anywhere else I could move to. Let me check something here because I'm still learning source.
And incapacitated is until your next turn, right, Zippo?
Yeah, until my next turn. So it can't attack or take reactions. Okay, casting time with an action, spend 2 source coins to change the casting time to a bonus action. Okay, so it's any spell. It's not like a specific spell. Gotcha. All right. This does seem like a very serious situation. So I'm trying to debate if Zippo would use his biggest spell slot yet or wait. Yeah, Zippo's just he's gonna call it there. That's gonna be his turn.
Okay. Ulrich.
There. Ulrich is going to 1, 2, 3, 4.
So it's flowing out here, so you'll need to move one more. I just moved it, so yeah.
Sure. Gotcha.
Perfect.
Can he see Yarvik?
Let's see here. Let me look from here.
Well, I mean, I guess
you could kind of see him from here. He has like partial cover.
Right.
If you're looking for the information, we'll pass that across the ring. Yarvik went down.
Right. Do I have anything magic-wise? That's all touch. Why are all my... How about bless? Okay. I used 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to make it through. Ulrich will. Jesus, I need a ranged healing. I'm sorry, dude. Ulrich's going to. He dropped his crossbow, and he pulls out the axe.
Okay.
Um,
The crossbow
and-
clatters onto the bones you were standing on.
and he hits, and he probably misses. 15.
15 hits.
Okay. For both of them, I'm burning spell slots to try and take this thing down. So we'll roll first just the basic axe damage. Okay, 2 17s.
Okay, so that's a 34.
Yep, and then we did divine smites for a grand total of.
Does this creature count as undead?
I'm guessing.
You're not sure?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it's because
I'm guessing-
smite would do something different if it's undead.
Yep.
It would do more damage.
Yep. So extra damage is 2d8 for first level plus 1. So 68 additional magic radiant damage. So 34 plus 32 for a grand total of 66.
Okay.
And if I had had 3 more points, that would have been nice.
So the 68 got you a 32, in addition to the original 34. Very nice.
So that's action. Bonus action, he is going to cast Spiritual Weapon at the first level. Yeah. And it's just going to appear, I think, beside him. 14 hit?
No.
All right, we found the floor. So that's the turn.
Got it. I'm just adding your axe.
It should be on the left-hand side of the map.
Yeah, I'm just giving you another one. You want it right here?
Oh, okay. That works, yeah.
All right. All right, top of the round.
Well, it seemed to be real pissed off by fire earlier, so I'm actually going to use another fire arrow.
Okay.
And do I have a clear shot here? Big enough.
So this passage is like a 5x10 passage. It's filling the passage. So as long as you're shooting past your friends, you're going to be able to hit it. That's why Ulrich really couldn't see Yarvik very well, because it's literally
occupying all of the space.
Yeah. There's really not much.
All right. Well, we're gonna shoot it. 23 hits,
23
as far
hits.
as I know.
Correct.
Damage time. Let me roll that extra fire damage. So 29 damage in total, 3 of which is fire.
Okay. It seems to be soaking up this damage. Like, everything that you guys have been throwing at it, it just keeps disintegrating some and then forming back repeatedly. It's still up.
Well,
anything else you doing, Roger?
I'm strongly contemplating bailing back over the traps. But I think I'm just going to use my rogue bonus action to attempt stealth again.
Okay.
And that will be my turn. Because I still kind of want to stand here in front of Zippo, because I'm significantly more tanky than Zippo.
Right.
Yep, that'll be my turn.
All right, it's the creature's turn, and it kind of convulses and thrashes, and one side of it seems to like go limp and kind of sag and just kind of start trying to crawl away in a grasping motion as it seems to be incapacitated, but the other side of it rips off of it and appears to be very much still in play. It seems like this creature was not just one, but two that were tendrilled around each other, and it's just trying to tear free so it can do what it does best. And it turns and attacks Ulrich, while the other piece slinks away to try and recover. It kind of forms up into a ball over here, and begins pulsing. It's not really doing anything to an effect because it's incapacitated, but it's over here and out of Zippo's sight.
Does that
Does it
move
take
far enough away
opportunity
from
attack?
Ulrich, to provoke an AOO?
Let's say it does, yes.
Thank you. I was asking that, but not unmuted. So we will do that. 17, which will hit, assuming that nothing changed. 9.
Okay.
Magic damage. Magic slashing damage.
Sounds good. All right.
Belgium would get an attack too.
Belgian would as well, yes.
Oh yeah, thank you. No, Belzian, right. Belzian's not going to attempt the very thing that didn't work previously.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay,
a hit.
26. Nine. Force damage.
Okay.
No, bludgeoning damage. Magic bludgeoning.
This one starts melting away as that last final damage, as it's slinking away, begins to make it thrash and curl and turn, and it almost looks like something swirling down a drain, and all that's left is the muck and wretch that is left of it. Pieces of bones and skulls and remnants of organs, perhaps long wasted. You can see maybe some centipede spines within it. Yeah, it smells absolutely awful. This one, on the other hand, begins attacking Ulrich.
They did.
You know what? It's also going to withdraw. It's got movement. It's going to stay in Ulrich's movement, but Belzian gets another attack.
His reaction, so.
Oh yeah, he already used his reaction. Yeah, so he's done. He'll be here, so he's still within your range, and he's gonna do a cone attack. It's a 30-foot cone. It might actually just miss.
Sure, it shook off the incapacitation.
This one was incapacitated. It meant it could only move. This one seems to have not been affected.
I see. I mixed them up. I get it
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So actually, let me do this for you. Bam. So it cannot occupy the same square as the weapon, right?
Nothing stopping that.
So it could be here.
I think so, yeah.
All right. The creature emits a screech that is laced with shadow. It kind of emanates out of what opens up to be a giant maw, where its eye would be, or rather, crescent moon of an eye because the other half of the eye was in the other creature. So now it's just kind of a deformed piece of an eye. And the maw opens up, revealing bony structures that kind of resemble teeth, and it emits this horrendous howl that is waves of distorted energy. So each creature within 30 feet of the horror must make a DC 15 saving throw. So that's everyone in 30 feet of it.
What kind of saving throw?
Wisdom.
Yep, that's a
Ah, let's
saving
go.
throw.
Outside the range of my aura, right? Yeah.
This isn't by chance a magical sleep or lightning effect, is it?
It is not.
All right, well, I got a 10 on my wisdom save.
Okay. Fortunately,
5 for
Yarvik
Belzian.
doesn't have to make this save because he's unconscious. 5 for Belzian. Okay. All right. So as this emanates from you, pieces of the rock wall seem to flake away and peel, revealing what looks to be windows into other layers of the realm. You can see pieces of water and pieces of earth and fire and air and shadow and light just like flaking off from, and then as quickly as that happens, it all kind of condenses back and it's just a normal looking cave, and the shockwave affects everyone kind of differently. Those who failed the save are going to take 22 psychic damage. So Belzian and Roger. And you're both going to be deafened until the end of next turn.
What?
Yeah. If the saving throw fails by 5 or more, which I think is both of you, because of the DC 15, you're also blinded until your next turn. As like the sheer and utter confusion of like the other realms overlapping and kind of affect your eyes to the point where you're kind of still seeing those realms and you can't really make sense of anything at the moment. You're kind of stunned in that way. You're still hearing the roar that was that for the next round, for the next 6 seconds.
Gotcha.
Is
That you said that's until the beginning of our next turn or the end of our next turn?
The end of its next turn.
End of its next turn. Okay.
Yeah. So give me a second. I'm going to let Midna out, and then we'll go from there.
So good news, everybody. It doesn't get advantage attacking me, even though I can't see it because of my alert feat.
Nice. So I guess the question is, so this doesn't list it as it being an action or anything like that, but I assume this is still an action that I just did, correct?
Probably. If
that would
it's
make
Yeah,
sense to
it's
me.
under the actions thing. So I'm going to say
Yeah.
it's moved, it's acted, it's done. Yarvik, go ahead and make a death saving throw.
Yarvik mutters, gurgling. He's thinking of sausage. He's just muttering about sausage and little Belzy. And it's a D20, right?
Yes. Ooh, very close to getting up.
One more and you could have got up.
So that goes on the success side, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Belzian. Belzian should have... did you change the damage for him, or do you need me to?
I can't make those changes.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if you could or not.
No.
So he took 22.
But I'm tracking it. I'm tracking it on my own for what's worth. So yeah, 22 damage is at
Yeah.
40 or 39, I mean.
Yeah.
Belzian is going to.
So, as a reminder, he's deafened and blinded.
Yeah. He is going to. Where is it? Oh, damn it. I forgot the open hand techniques. Oh well. Next time. Where the hell is this? Patient body thing. Not patient defense. Wholeness of body. No. Stillness of mind. You can use an action to end one effect on yourself that is causing you to be charmed or frightened. So that's not going to do anything.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just going to take the dodge action. There's not a lot he can do here.
I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm rooting for all of you, he says.
Yep.
All right. Zippo.
Hey, I can see that, boy.
You can.
Make an intelligence saving throw for me, please.
Okay. Good old faithful.
And I just to confirm, 20 nat 20s aren't auto saves, right?
Correct.
Okay, so it physically can't
It physically can't pass. You're right. You got a -3 this time around. All right.
All right.
26
26
damage.
psychic damage, and it's incapacitated.
Yep. And it's more than incapacitated. It similarly melts into the floor like the other one, leaving a bloody, pussy mess.
I love that spell so much. Especially against enemies that don't have good brains.
Oh yeah, this one didn't have a brain. It had
See
all
my
the
thought
other
process?
organs, but it did not have a brain. It had a negative. It had a 3 intelligence. It was alive technically. It wasn't undead, but it was barely there.
Gotta love
Thought
that
process?
ever so slightly better than animalistic intelligence.
hmm
I figured it would have a lot of brains because of it being able to have a bunch of body parts. I thought, oh, that's gonna have more than one brain. It's gonna be hard to hit this with it.
I mean, there were 2 of them.
True.
After approximately 6 or 7 seconds passed, I'm gonna stop going, ow, my fucking head, and open my eyes back up.
Okay,
And are we officially out of combat?
we are.
Ulrich brings Yarvik up with 8 hit points first, and then cast a spell on him for an additional 12 hit points.
Okay.
So
Oh,
there's
he's
20 hit points.
Positive 20, right? Is that
Yep,
what it is?
positive 20. And you're up and you're awake and yeah.
All right. So how do I hold on a second? Do I?
You
There
can
it is.
just
I got it. I just had to click out of the box. Yep, I got it.
Yep.
Just Yarvik is going to just lay on the ground and stare blankly at the ceiling. This cave sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I'm going to do a little healing to myself here.
One,
I'm going to cast one at 2nd level for myself. Okay. I'm back up about just under half health. So
nice. Once we get finished with the healing and fighting and stuff, would it be too much trouble to ask Belzian to run back and get Brunhild along the walls?
Oh, yes, of course. Would you like an athletics check for that?
Yeah, please. Still fine.
Okay.
I'll just grab her.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was going back to grab her.
Yeah, sorry, I see that now. Brunhild is actively whimpering at the heavy smell of stink of death.
Okay, I'm going to prestidigitation to make it to where she smells like just flowers or something not this.
Okay, you actively are like prestidigitationing around her nose and body as you're going through this area to try and keep a barrier of stench away.
Yeah, if I could I clean that area where the body is?
You can only do so much.
It's 1 cubic foot.
Yeah, this is like a whole like the whole area is covered in this stuff. It's slowly seeping back into the bones, and pooling that way, slowly but surely. But it's gonna take a while for it to drain out.
Gotcha. Man, this place is awful. So which way did you go first, Albert? Okay.
I added a things update when you drop so that I can see where you're moving, because I think last time there was a little bit of confusion for me because you were moving your icon and able to see updates actively, but I wasn't seeing where you were going. So this helps me to know where you're placing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I explained that I started to go up this way, and I got stuck there when the monster came. Presumably, the direction we want to go is the big path down the bottom, but would be good to explore other paths, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah, let's check them out. You go first.
Do we want to do the split party thing again, or?
I don't think we should be splitting up anymore if we can help it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Velzine, why don't you come along with us?
Oh, yes. Sorry there, chaps.
All
I
right.
was thinking about the time I read a book.
So the wider passage that you're heading down seems to go in a southern and eastern direction. I'm going to describe this before you continue further in case you want to stop. The walls on either side of the passage seem to be formed from the fleeing backs of humanoids. All along the wall, that as soon as you get about 10 feet into the passage here, it seems like over time many creatures have run toward the same direction that you're going and been turned to stone.
Damn it.
This whole area, every single bit of wall, is layers of humanoids.
I'm gonna look at the scroll.
It reads the same as the rhyme from earlier.
Still the one about the maze, huh?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna back out to the skull room.
Okay.
Yep.
If you're still
Nah,
looking at the
screw this.
parchment at that point,
Yeah.
there is a new updated reading.
Excuse me.
And it simply reads this sentence.
Handle not what is most sacred in the lands of Necrata. What is most sacred in the lands of Necrata?
I mean, blood would be my guess.
Or silver?
Zippo's gonna pull out the relic he had from the hydrant.
Garlic? I only have a couple bulbs in my bag. I don't know.
It does like specifically ask us not to handle.
As everybody pulls out things that are sacred. or presumably sacred to them.
I'm gonna take a look down the wider passage that looks like the correct way forward.
Okay. You see that the passage opens up into a much wider and taller cavern with much more space. Your footsteps echo. There are some signs of some people within the walls here and here, but nothing to the same amount as earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess the GPS on this thing is just messed up, and that line about getting added to the collection really meant that room there where everybody was running away screaming and dying.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I understood that. They were running the direction we were heading.
Correct.
They were running from the giant corpse thing and then ran into a basilisk or something and got stoned.
Right.
Let's go this way.
What about the
Alright.
pass that we didn't search up here?
Yeah, well, I
that
guess-
just sounds like a terrible time, and let's not go there either.
So I am curious though, the bodies that were here.
One here and one here.
What direction? Yeah, what are they facing?
They're facing forward this way.
Towards the where we're coming from.
Yes.
So one would
Okay.
presume they were pursued, maybe?
Maybe they just.
That's what I'm.
That way.
Either that or they just were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Look, less statues of people petrified this way. Let's go this way.
I mean,
Okay,
Yeah.
but if we had to come back this way, we're searching those other two areas.
All
well,
right.
one of them I can say is nothing.
The
If you
path.
want to do that while we're fully rested, be my guest.
The path wise. It continues this direction and also continues this direction.
Roger.
Yeah, what's the thing say?
I'll check the scroll.
Roger checks the scroll, and once he steps further away from the bones and gets into this passage area, the parchment goes blank.
Huh.
Did they say anything about if it goes blank?
Nope.
So going to stage right here is north, which is the way we're trying to go. Maybe we see where that path leads.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. Every time that we've had the opportunity to turn back and look at something behind us, it has been straight up wrong. Those extra passageways turning off in various directions are probably there to trap people from Relic coming in and not necessarily to be of interest to us trying to leave.
Yeah, that's good analysis.
All
There
right.
could be treasure down that way.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think I can take any more of the treasure in this dungeon. And I've taken, I think, less hits than most of us.
Yeah. Alright, I mean, so we should just continue north.
Okay.
That's my vote.
And that's what everybody's going good with?
Yeah, Yarvik just
Yeah.
walks north.
Okay.
Yarvik's done.
The passage does continue and kind of stays at this 15-foot by 15-foot kind of widened thing. And as you follow along it, you go off map for a ways until you come to a door. I'm going to put the door on the screen.
This is your moment, Spo.
Oh,
Wait, should we rest before we do anything with this door?
If we think we can be safely rest, I think we're probably pretty beat up. That probably would be a good idea. At least a short rest.
Yeah.
I think we could safely short rest maybe, but getting 8 hours down here, that's gonna be...
Even using a short rest would be good, I think, for all of us.
Yeah, while we're doing it, I suppose we can think a little bit about the fact that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 holes in this door.
We need 13 door handles.
It's one more than a lucky number.
Check the scroll before we rest.
Yeah, I'll check the scroll.
Okay. So the door, when you approach the door, that appears on.
The wise will know that time is eternal, and so too is the key. That sounds like a clue to go check that well of eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got everything out of
Well,
the
we
well
already got.
eternity.
Yeah, we got that. I mean, this is the key, right?
Ta-da! All right, but like before we open the door, can we rest for a little bit? What if we don't and there's like danger right on the other side and Yarvik goes down again or Zippo goes down and we lose all our firepower?
I will take the doorknob and just put it on the map for you.
Thank you. It's so shiny.
Who's currently holding it, by the way?
Zippo is. Zippo
Okay.
did not relinquish it once they were giving it to him.
It's in Zippo's hands, so I have it as a Zippo token.
How tall is the door?
It's a 10-foot by 10-foot door.
Okay, so Zippo can reach like maybe the middle row.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
up
on
to
his tippy
the
toes.
up to here if he reaches.
If he stands on Broodhild, maybe.
Yeah, if he jumps, I should say. All right. So while you're taking a short rest, if anybody's doing their short rest heals using heal dice, please do.
Yep.
In the meantime, I'll describe the door. So the door is a 10-foot by 10-foot paneled door. The door is made out of what seems to be bronze paneling with iron channels running below them. The channels seem to end in circles in various points along it. 3 at the top, 2 in the middle top, 3 in the middle, 2 in the bottom middle, and then 3 at the bottom. All the channels seem to be polished and not rusted with age, despite you knowing that this chamber has at least been dormant for 3,000 years. You do see that this area is rather dusty, and you see evidence of your footfalls from the dust that has been left in your wake.
So after we get unresting, or while we're resting too, Zippo will be like, where do you think we should put this door handle at? I'm thinking dead center.
So remind me how hit dice before we do that. Remind me how hit dice works in short rest. You only roll you roll 1? Like
You
how does
choose
that
how
work?
many
as
you
many
want.
as you want.
Yep. How many you have available, you can choose that many.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, you just when you long rest, you only get half of them back, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have total 9 hit dice. I rolled 1, so I would have a maximum of 8. So I could roll
Up to
8?
8.
Up to 8. All right.
Could you do short rest for Belgian, Josh?
Of course.
And I think maybe spend 3 hit die.
Let's see.
And what's the
here.
consequence if you use them all? You don't get them back until you do another long rest? Is
You
that
only-
You get half of them back in the long rest.
Yeah.
There's theoretically some things that could happen, but it's very unlikely.
How many hit dice do you think I should spend?
I think 3.
Enough that the average roll brings you back to full health.
I don't know why I only
Yeah.
rolled 1.
Yeah, I had to go through. You have to click the 3, then hit roll, hit die. They gotta repackage how that works.
Okay, so I spent 1 already. Right?
I mean, if you, yeah.
Let's see here. It was 1 plus 2. Yeah, okay. So we'll do 2
Oh,
more.
jeez. Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know why it had.
So 17. I mean, it's not bad
For you or
for Belzian.
yeah, okay.
Oh shit. I was looking at the 61 still. We spend way more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I think 7 total. Cause he was in rough shape. And I could just roll all at once what the number is if you like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because he rolls a d8. So that's 48 plus 8, right? Because he's got plus 2 each time. Yeah. 25 additional hit points on
Okay.
top of whatever. That puts him in a more healthy place.
Yeah, 64.
Yeah, did pretty good. Do you recover any spell slots during a short rest? or is
So
that
when you
your-
hit short rest, it'll recover anything that recovers at a short rest. You don't recover spell slots unless you are a wizard or a warlock, because they have special abilities that allow them to gain back certain things, and it's only a certain amount. So,
Wizard Warlock gets all their spell slots back on a short rest,
but you don't have
Wizard
last
has Arcane
wizards. Yeah,
Recover.
yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for you, Yarvik, I'm not quite certain what you get back on a short rest. We haven't had to do a lot of those, because we haven't been in long dungeons like this before.
I
Except
clicked the button, so I would
Yeah,
assume that it gave
it'll
me,
give
I
you
mean,
back whatever you. It'll show you what you have versus
What?
not. What's up? All right.
Sorry, I'm just trying to. He's only at 64. You said.
Yeah.
What was he at before we started the rolling?
Can go back and look. So one thing that I did was I had added hit points to him from the roll that I had seen, but then I had realized that I had had the feature open for short rest that said automatically apply healing with dice result. So I had to
Okay.
take back some of what I added.
Oh, so it got added in twice.
Yeah. So he was lower and now he's higher, or vice
Right.
versa. He was higher and now he's lower. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So short rest, you got your key points back. Correct? For
Yeah, I
Belgian.
believe so.
Yeah.
Yep. They're not showing on here, but
Let's see here. Yeah, it still says 7. I'm just gonna put those back. There we go.
Okay.
Just checking with Jorvik to see if there's anything I can spot. I think you're pretty good. Yeah, I don't think you get your spell slots back. Yeah.
definitely not for a ranger.
Yeah. Okay. So, you folks have taken a rest at the door. Kind of been studying it as you go. What do you do next?
What do you guys think we should put it in? Because I'm afraid if we put it in the wrong hole, it might blow the whole door up and kill us all.
We could have one of us search the door really quick. I'm pretty decent at investigating things.
Do you see if it's physically trapped? And could I like use like an Arcana check to see if there's any magical sense that I get from the door and the knob?
Sure.
That's a definite no, Chief.
It's definitely magical. There's definitely a connection between the knob and the door itself. You feel that they're related. The bronze kind of gives that away too. Roger, you notice that the channels that run between each of the holes seems to fit the spacing that the knob's bar would go into. It seems like these holes could be places where the knob might go. Presumably, a pattern must be put into the door in order to make it open.
Pattern must be put into the door. Say, I've got an idea. Why don't we put it in like an infinity sign? Because the riddle was the wise will know that time is eternal, and so too is the key. So if we do those, maybe that will open it.
We could try that, but before we try that, just to confirm, there's no like marking on the knob, right? Like it's just brass and jade or whatever.
Yeah, and I can pop open the handout again for the knob.
Thank you.
It just looks kind of like swirly inlay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we can try the infinity sign.
I'll start in the center and then go around.
So Zippo, do you hand the knob to Roger?
I'll say you can't reach the top ones.
That's fair. Yeah, I can't reach the top one, so I have to hand him the
You
knob.
can, but you can pick him up.
Okay, Roger, you now have control of the knob.
Awesome. I'll put it in the center and turn.
Okay, the knob does not turn, but it does fit in to the center.
Okay, I'll try here.
Okay. A light appears, and here's what I'm going to do for that. A light appears and follows your tracing.
Okay, I'll try it here.
Okay. It follows you.
And here.
It follows you.
I'm gonna guess here next.
It gets to here and fades.
Oh,
Maybe you have to light the whole door up.
maybe. Okay. I'm going to assume we start in the center still. I'll take another look at the clue. Time is eternal, and so too is the key. There's not an easy way to make an hourglass on here if it fades as soon as it touches the line.
I mean, but at the same time, while I do like that, there doesn't seem to be any penalty for trying something. So what we could do, and I don't have my regular mouse here, so that followed by yep, and then hang it down. Nope. We want to go straight down and then to this. And then here. Yep. And then up here. Oh shoot! Did I? Oh fuck! I'm sorry. I kind of mapped this out in my mind, and then I messed it up. Instead of going up to the middle, we need to go from here. So yep, down to here, and then up here, and then over here, and then over here, and then over here, and then up here, and then here, and then here, and then here.
Okay.
I will perform that sequence of actions.
Yeah, and so I will say that the pattern does glow the entire time, and when you reach here, the pattern fades, but the door
Okay.
does not open.
Noted.
But now you can see how you can make the light up channel now without me having to do it. So I like that.
So
There's no guarantee that we have to use all of the dots. In fact,
no, certainly not.
It's pretty likely we only have to use 12 of the 13.
Did it fade anywhere in this stack? I don't know.
Is there 13?
That's the good question.
Yeah, there's 13. Yeah, I see.
If Roger would try that. I want to test something. If Roger would try that.
Yeah, sure. I'll try out every pattern that's being suggested.
Okay, so this pattern here is the one that's being suggested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The light up fails until it reaches this square, or it lights up until it reaches this square.
Okay, gotcha. So it's like we get like it just can't overlap with itself, right?
Yeah.
That appears to be part of it. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. That's why I wanted to double check before I messed myself up again.
So
I'm going to try.
Yeah, it has 9 little. So if you look at the door handle, it has like 9 little. Yeah, go around in the diamond and then go to the middle at the end.
It lights up the pattern, but does not open.
Okay.
Did we try pushing?
So, are there obvious hinges anywhere on the store?
I described what he saw based on his 26 investigation.
Right, and you didn't mention
21
any hinges that
investigation, correct. No hinges.
Okay. Not that I wanted to pop it off the hinges.
Not to mention the fact that I didn't mention a scene either.
Right.
Can we knock on it? Just knock on the door. You're just gonna walk up and knock on the door. Hey, is anybody there?
Yarvik knocks. And you hear a metallic ring sound from clanging on the brass or the bronze, excuse me. Very different. And nothing else happens. Except for you hear the knock echo through the cavern and back the way you came.
What if hear me out. What if we gotta do it like this for bronze claim, make it a B.
That could be.
That
Again.
could be. I like that.
Oh shoot! Nope, that won't work because we missed that. Then.
We don't necessarily have to get all of them.
No, I know. I just have a suspicion. Wow, that I can't seem to delete that little string.
What are you trying to delete?
That terrible mark that I made.
The whole thing, or?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. There's a way to clear, right? Yeah, clear drawings.
Yeah, it's just not. Okay, thanks. I don't know why it wasn't going away.
Jesus Christ. This is stupid.
What's up? What happened?
I'm just getting frustrated by the buttons I have to press to make it keep going.
You can right click with your mouse.
I'm aware.
Okay, all right.
Okay, Zippo's gonna try something
Okay.
kind of dumb. Okay. Zippo's gonna have everybody back up from the door in case this causes a backlash. And once everybody backs up from the door, Zippo is going to reach onto his robe of useful items, onto his second to last patch,
Okay.
and pull out a pit, which he can place on the ground within 10 feet of him, and place it. He's going to place it right at the bottom of the door, so it tries to, see if he can make a pit in front of the door or under the door, kind of like on the door, like he's trying to paste it onto the right in front of the door, where hopefully it gets under the door a little bit.
Sure. Okay. So how big is this hole?
It's a cube that's 10 feet on a side.
You got to be kidding me, Zippo.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the hell out of the way.
Oh
I
yeah.
set it back up.
Yeah, he said back up.
So Zippo throws the pit at the door as close as he can to the base of the door. And the pit spreads from the door out toward him 10 feet. Are you within reach of the door? Like, are you within that 10-foot square?
Oh no, it's within 10 feet of me, so it'd be like on the door, and I'd be about 10 feet back, so it would stop right at me.
Okay,
is
so
what
you
I'm
were.
assuming.
I was checking to see if you were wise enough to be like hopeful that it would get under the door if you were closer to it, or not.
Actually, I'm trying to think. Would Zippo be?
I mean, there is space on either side of the door, so I could say that you're next to the door, like over here, but to the right of it, and you throw it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that works.
it spreads out in front of the door 10 feet, occupying all 10 feet of the space right up against the door. The door seems to be seamless with the ground, so it wasn't able to get underneath.
Dang.
Like the
Boys, there
channel
goes my plan.
is connected to the stone down there.
Thanks, Zippo. You just made it a whole lot harder for us to test these.
I thought it would work. Okay, I'm sorry.
I do have a pattern I want to try.
Can you pick the hole back up, or
No.
no?
So, what will need to happen in order for other designs to happen is that one person will need to be on one side and one person be on the other. If you want to use your ladder Zippo, you could kind of bridge it across the gap to make it a walkway, something like that. But it's going to be it's going to take more of a group effort to do.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah, Zippo pull his ladder out. Throw it down there.
I will say you're
Alright.
definitely making it harder for anybody to come through this passage from the other direction. They get through this door, they're going to fall in a pit.
Yep.
So this pattern here that I've outlined should hit every hole and connect back to its starting point.
The one that I saw you doing in yellow a moment ago. Yeah, okay, it's appearing again. Okay. So you trace it. You start here, and you're going which direction?
Sorry, I'm starting in the center.
Oh, starting in the center. Okay.
And then, coming back to the center is the very last one.
Okay, it glows along the same route that you trace. And when it gets to the middle, it fades once more. No reaction.
And at no point along the route am I able to turn the knob.
Yes, the knob doesn't seem to turn whatsoever.
I would suggest this red thing I've done, and if it doesn't work, then the exact opposite of it.
Okay.
Which is to say that you follow the path without ever duplicating, hitting every single hole, and you end either with the knob in the left-hand thing or the right-hand thing, where a knob would traditionally be on a door.
All right. So both combinations seem to have the same effect as before.
Okay. And so too is the key.
Those who are controlling Belgian and those who are controlling...
Oh!
Yes. Go ahead.
Sorry. The wise will know what time it is. Okay. Noise will no. Sorry, the noise will know what time is eternal and so too is the key.
Symbol of one of the 12 gods. We could try drawing in the door, maybe.
Yeah.
The wise will know.
Well, if you would like to think about it while we go on break, that is perfectly okay.
Okay.
Zippo has one we'd like to try.
Okay. Do one last attempt before we go on break.
Zippo, try that.
Okay. It glows along the same path and fades just the same as before.
Okay.
Was there a rhyme or reason to the pattern, or did you were just trying something?
I was trying to copy the twin, the god of magic.
Got it.
Hourglass.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes where we will continue this riddle puzzle. And in the meantime, enjoy the music made by our one and only Amethyst. Be right back. Welcome back from the break. We are back for more puzzle solving. There is a bronze door. It has a lot of channels on it. We have a brass knob. You do the math, or not. All right. So last we left, you were all trying to discern the pattern of the door.
Does this phrase strike Ulrich as anything religious?
You can make a religion check.
Sure.
While he's doing that, can Roger try this pattern for me?
Sure. Oh, Roger and somebody else can try the pattern. Since nobody can be in the middle.
There's a ladder, right?
Yeah, the ladder.
Okay, you did place the ladder. Cool.
Yeah.
All
the
right.
poke is now a regular poke.
Thinking on the riddle, you can't think, like, you know that there's a god of knowledge, but you can't think of a pattern that would really resemble that in this. It seems less religious based in phrasing than something else less familiar. You're not sure what the elves harbor for gods, if it's the same or not. You think that they might harbor the 12, but you don't know if they have the same symbols. You're not sure if they favor one god over the other. You do know that they're nature oriented in some way, but Langelius seems just as arbitrary, right? So you're pretty confident that it's not religious based. You feel it would be phrased differently if it was.
Right.
We could try this pattern, which just depicts 2 clock hands.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
It glows and fades like once before.
Zippo's gonna. Do we still have the book from where we took the wall down?
You do.
Zippo's gonna like skim through it to see if he can find anything that would look or sound like it would involve a door like this.
Okay, the only symbol that's on the book is the symbol on the front, which was a symbol of a jewel, an axe, and a crescent moon, in a triad pattern. One for each section of the wall. None of these seem to be something that might hint at a door symbol.
Gotcha.
The rest is all just wording.
Well, we could, in theory, draw a crescent moon, right?
Yeah, in theory.
Not a very good crescent moon. We can get like the letter C. I'll try it.
Okay. It glows and fades.
And remind me, is C for cookie? All right.
Inspiration.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
If you give a mouse a cookie.
He said something that kind of triggered something in my mind. I don't think we could draw it though.
Okay, while you're ruminating, give me 1 sec.
Yep.
Here he comes.
One presumes this door was put in place by dragons. Is there anything that we have discerned or gleaned or anything relating to dragon culture, specifically the bronze dragons?
Is there a reason you think dragons in particular on this?
Well, we're going to the Bronze Lands. It's a bronze door, and the whole thing, this whole thing, seems like it's set up, as Roger said earlier, to kind of mess people up that are going one direction. It seems to me like this is something the dragons put in place, so it would be a dragon-centric solution, though I don't know what that is. But the fact that it is a bronze door and we're going to the Bronze Lands is kind of telling to me.
Yarvik, based on that thought, give me a wisdom check, please.
I was looking in the wrong place. Hold on a second. Oh, that's a saving throw.
Okay. You remember when we were first going into the chamber that the hints on the scroll were things that were created by the elves. So anything that is hinted by the elves or by the scroll is something that relates to something that the elves have constructed.
And this, okay, so, and the elves, the scroll did change to provide the last hint,
which was the hint for this door.
which was the hint for the door.
Yeah, the wise will know that time is eternal, and so too is the key.
Do we still have like the little symbol that the elf guy put on us to like, bond us for like our contract thing?
So the pact that was made was a vine symbol. It was just a wavy pattern and that ended in a spiral to show that there was a bond created by you and Reynard.
So if it's an elven door, but made in cooperation, I mean, maybe it's just bronze because that's the material that they have here.
Yeah, an interesting choice indeed.
Roger, is there anything from the elves of Seregen that can shed some light on this, like elven logic? Like, are there any like logic puzzles or anything that maybe stories or something that are told by your people, that could point us in a direction?
Dungeon Master?
Uh, I'll give you either a wisdom check or you could do a history check. A wisdom check would be to insight on the elves that you've encountered, and then a history check would be maybe with a bonus if you have history, but it would be based on your experiences in Seregen. I'll give you either one of those.
Roger's parents didn't tell him shit. He doesn't know anything about history, so we're gonna roll that wisdom check.
Okay.
11.
So you're thinking on it, and you think that the symbol must have something to do with the elves that made the door, right? So the question is, and this is what's kind of nipping at that back of your mind, is what you feel like you probably have to already know the symbol in some way. Like this is knowledge you already have, you're just trying to figure out what it is, right?
I'm curious. What if we did? What if we started in the bottom right-hand corner and just went immediately to the middle? What happens then? Bottom right to the middle with no stop between.
Nothing different.
As in, sorry, does it create a trace?
It does create a trace, but it fades as soon as you stop. Well, a moment after you stop.
Okay, so do that again, but then go up here to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately go down to the bottom left.
So like
I'm just curious.
So it has to follow the channel.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to see if we could break away from the channel at all.
No,
so
it's actually slotted in. So like you
I
can't
apologize.
move it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's mechanical in nature.
Right.
So maybe I don't know how to do the arrow thing that you guys are doing. Hold on.
So if you look at the left-hand column, you see the one that has a ruler on it. If you click on that and hit snap to center, that's how you do the arrow. There you go. And you right-click to get a different point. Yeah, there you go. Okay,
kind of like a tree and an arrow. Go this way. Also a tree. Elves.
Yeah,
trees?
I see that. Okay, that pattern does not elicit any results either.
So if it's something that we know, a symbol that we know, this was built by the elves. We presume it was built by the elves of Necrata. Well, no, wait. This was built before the wall. So different elves could have had input into this. What do we know about elven symbology? Like, what have we seen so far? We've got the vines because of our quest.
Wasn't there a symbol carved into those Necrata coins? Do we have any of those left?
I think the Necrata coins had a crescent moon on them, right? Or no, they were just in the shape of a moon.
They weren't notched in a particular place?
No, but they were able to be separated, so it was a full moon, and then it was turned into a half moon if you broke it in half.
What was
What if we just draw a line straight down the middle, from the top to the bottom?
Like a zipper. I like it. Unfortunately, it doesn't elicit a result. It has the tracing, and that's it.
what was the symbol, like the blue symbol we can't see on the trees?
You talking about the lantern symbol?
Trees? Yeah, it's like okay.
The lantern?
Yeah, I don't think you could trace it. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, the lantern kind of looked very similar to an hourglass, really, right? Except with a box around it.
Let's try that pattern.
The one that Atomic has right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't give you a result either that you'd want.
After trying so many times, it was like, why don't we just try to break the door?
You can.
Well, yeah, I'd love to, but there's no ground for me to really stand on for it.
Why break the door? Just break the ground underneath it and let's go under.
Well, that's actually.
Zippo's already done half the work.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give
Yeah,
Belzian
how
a
deep is
wisdom
this
check
pit?
too. The pit is what, 10 feet deep, right?
It doesn't give a depth. I would assume 10 feet.
Yeah, it's
It
10
just
by
says
10 by
pit.
10.
Yeah,
And how big is that ladder?
24 foot.
Yep, with the ladder propped at the bottom and, up. Ulrich is going to climb 10 feet up to be like at the bottom of the door.
Okay.
And try and dig using. Does he have a shovel?
That's the question.
This kit.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
How on earth do you not have a shovel, dude?
Look,
I mean,
shield.
hey, when
yeah,
we were resupplying,
exactly.
I asked if we needed any new gear.
Yep. No,
we didn't
I
think
know.
of shovels.
And everybody always. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I got a shield.
Everybody always forgets the rope, but now it's the shovel.
We have rope. We have a lot of it.
Well, that's what I mean. We all remembered to bring rope, but nobody remembered to bring a shovel.
I have crowbar.
That'll do.
Close enough.
Yeah, using a crowbar to just kind of like dig forward until he can like directly underneath the door to see if he can get to like a light on the other side.
Okay.
I've also got a hammer and pythons if we want to try and split some rocks that way to bust underneath it.
Nice.
Also, can I give Zippo a wisdom check since he's the only one that hasn't done one yet?
Yes, you can.
17, sad.
Okay. So in your wisdom check, what are you specifically trying to do? I've kind
Zippo's
of got a direction for each, so.
Yeah, Zippo's just trying to figure out if he can remember or recall any kind of symbolism or like any kind of patterns that he's seen that would possibly open the door. He's just like he's trying to remember on the elves, and he's also trying to think of like dragons too, because he's just aggravated. He's just wanting to break the door down.
Right. You remember that you're like trying to think of symbols and things like that, and you're like thinking of the wording of the riddle, and you remember that Roger had listed another riddle earlier for the maze that seems to like feel important.
What was the one for the maze?
Find two things within the maze and exit in a clue. Well, I don't know if we ever found that clue.
Or we only found an exit.
Well, fuck.
How's y'all's digging going?
So, for the dig, anybody make a strength check or
Sure.
yeah, as you're pounding
Yeah.
on solid stone with a crowbar.
Crowbar, yeah.
We have a
Is it
hammer.
Straight up and down strength, you said?
You could do athletics. You're using a tool.
I won't deny the offer. 23.
Okay. Using the hammer to dig the crowbar into the stone, you do 4 damage to the crowbar and do bang it up quite a bit, but it is wedged into the stone now, like a python might.
Well, great. Tell you what, I'll just pull this out. Maybe we go find that clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ulrich goes to pull the crowbar out.
Okay. You can feel free to observe the notes from last session to see if anything strikes you as a clue based on everything you encountered so far. It's very recent history, so that's pretty easy one to do without an intelligence.
No, I don't have anything in my notes that suggests a clue.
There's also the campaign summary.
Yeah.
Not the campaign summary. Well, there was that pool with the waterfall. We could go looking for a clue over there.
There's also 2 areas we didn't go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them felt like a good idea not to go to.
No, I meant like there's that third passage before that one. It was split in 2 ways. Yeah. I say we go back and look at the passages.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
Alright, I've put the map back up. You'll have to get out of grab ruler mode if you're going to move your characters.
Well, bottom left. First.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that passage.
Seems
Which
to be
what's in the
natural.
two passages itself.
Two natural cave patterns that kind of split both left and right. Both of them seem to branch naturally and then end.
Okay. Cool. Well,
you do see some evidence at the end of this passage, Zippo, that there might have been a centipede that came through here at some point.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, I'll let the party know that. Also, Bruno got stuck in a wall. All right, this passage time.
The one that we haven't gone down is that, yeah, which also branches, it looks like.
It does.
There's a top and there's a bottom here.
Well, I always say left is the right choice.
I'll just leave Belzian back at the passage for now.
Thank you.
And where did Roger go? Oh, Roger's over there. I'll leave Brunhild with Belzian. Just for
Pretty
safety.
good.
She got stuck in the wall.
So does this terminate into a dead end?
Seems to continue on.
Sure does.
As we get out of sight of the bones, I'll check the parchment again.
The maze riddle is back. Find 2 things within the maze, an exit and a clue. But beware,
Well.
for danger has ways of also finding you. The passage seems to split once again, up and left.
I'll draw a little bit with chalk here so we know where we're going.
Okay.
I'll follow the rest of the party.
All right, the passage splits into 3, left, straight, and right.
I mean, yeah. I'd say this direction seems the most.
Just on the edge of your vision, you can see screaming people reaching out toward you in stone. You see as you continue forward that the entire passage is lined with such sculptures, lining the entirety of the wall. This looks familiar.
I'll check the parchment again.
Same.
So this is
same riddle.
This is
It
the
loops
area
around
that we
the
started to come down. Yeah, it loops.
Correct.
Okay.
Right,
So then,
this mess.
Go this way.
So Zippo, you see that passage automatically splits into 2 more.
Zippo,
Yeah,
you got something?
it splits again. That's all I know.
This
Roger.
loops as well.
Roger, you find some markings from earlier. This seems to be a glowing arrow pointing backward. The passage also splits to the right. The arrow pointing backward seems to point back toward the original entrance of the map. So that split was where that hole was from earlier. The Well of Eternity. Okay, so the passage begins to narrow here, Zippo, and you start seeing markings on the wall, very similar to an encounter from earlier. The passage continues in a downward slope fairly quickly here, and it's a 5x5 passage.
Nope, that
circular
sounds like
pattern.
a centipede. Welcome back to that.
Yeah, now that you're walking back, you can see markings of that on the right-hand path. The left-hand path doesn't seem to have that, though.
Lefty loose.
Like I said, left is always right.
Okay, Roger, I'm going to place you. The path continues on the other side. It slopes downward and then upward again.
Well. Oh, wait, what?
Ta-da! We're back.
All
Oh,
right.
son of a bitch.
So
I
that
think we
whole
need
thing
to-
is a whole loop.
I think we need to go back to the
To the
area
water.
with water.
Okay, that's the trap area.
Do we want it before we do that? It seemed pretty safe by the door. Do y'all want to take a little bit longer for rest?
I don't know that it's actually safe. We just saw centipede, paths. Like, they could just pop up anywhere.
Oh, I suppose.
I love snoozing as much as the next guy, but
Just thinking, I feel like we're kind of low on resources, but
Yeah, my 2 cents is the rest is worth the risk because either if we get in a fight at the door, we don't have any resources. We get in a fight down the road, we don't have any resources. But if we rest, and we have a chance of having resources down the road. So either way, we fight at the door now. We're just as done as if we find something over by the waterfall. So to my mind, the rest is worth the risk.
all right. I mean, I won't fight.
plus, those of us that aren't hurt too badly could just keep watch. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in pretty good shape after that breather.
Well,
So I
you'll
don't need
still want to. If we're gonna rest, you'll still need to rest at some point.
eventually.
Otherwise, you're just gonna be exhausted.
Do we have enough unhurt people that we can take just 2 watches?
Yeah, I can do one of the watches.
And I can take the other one.
All right. So we'll say that over here's the door then.
Okay.
Just for the sake of having us place on the map. All right. So who's doing the 2 watches? Roger and Ulrich.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take one of them because I can transfer the other one.
Okay.
Ulrich has a limited time on how long the specialized last. So probably he should do a first watch.
Yeah. You're talking about the See into Darkness, the dark vision. Yeah, that'll run out before the end of the night, quote unquote.
So
end of the rest.
Yeah, in the interest of defending where we are, I will set up some traps as people are going to bed.
Caltrops, I assume.
Yeah, I've got 5 squares worth of caltrops I can place.
Okay.
Which I think is enough to cover the whole passageway at least once. So I'll go across the whole passageway, maybe let's say 10 feet away from the party, down the passageway, away from the door. And I'll also use some of the string that I have. So I've got quite a bit of string, and I'll string up my bell so that if anything crosses it, it should make some noise.
Okay. Go ahead and draw out where those are. And Ulrich, roll perception for your first watch. Yarvik, since you're our traditional D20 roller, could you roll the D20 twice for me?
I'll use that inspiration I got earlier
Okay.
for a 21.
What's that triangle in the middle there?
That's the bell.
Okay, all right.
It's not actually that big, but my freehand skills are...
Okay. All right, so Ulrich takes first watch, and Roger takes second. Okay. Ulrich, with your perception, every once in a while you hear the skittering of many legs in the distance, but none seem to grow closer to the party. I will also say that while you strung it up here, Amadeus, it's really going to only be, unless you're camping here instead of being as close to the door as possible, it's going to be more of a 15-foot passage. So you'll have less caltrips that you need to spend and a shorter distance for the alarm.
Okay.
Just
I mean,
a
I'm
heads
gonna
up.
pick. I'm gonna pick them all up in the morning.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just give you a heads up.
Gotcha.
You also hear the sound of a flowing congealed liquid echo down the chamber before you hear a sucking sound, and it kind of abruptly ends. All of these sounds, of course, are disconcerting, but nothing seems to appear, which at least puts you at some sort of ease. And that's your watch. You wake up Roger, and Roger takes second watch.
Yep.
These watches are fairly lonely since you're used to doing these with other people, but it's kind of a tense moment, so you're kind of glad for no distractions, and you kind of key into the environment. You two also hear the skittering sound, but don't hear any of the slurping sounds that, squelching sounds that Ulrich describes to you when you take his place. You check out the door more, kind of glaring at it, hoping that it will open just by sheer force of will, and it doesn't seem. It seems to mockingly stay closed. You take a long rest with no encounters. Very good rolls, Jaeger. Very good rolls. There was a 50-50 for each of them, and you passed both.
Nice.
All right. So it is the end of watch. You're more healed up. I guess the questions are now, what are your plans? Oh my.
Yes,
I'm sorry, I heard a very interesting meow. One sec. Oh my.
Meow.
Yeah, I know.
Church is currently
Then
asleep.
they came
while
back to end the campaign with us for today. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I guess we go back to the water. I guess that's the only place we didn't really explore.
Okay, so you're heading back?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Zippo, you're just going into that room?
It was slowly going, yeah.
Okay, I just
He's
saw
just-
you kind of appear right here. So I'm just seeing what your movement
Oh yeah, I
is.
was making sure we were going. I assumed since everybody said we were going to the water, it was going that way. If he's going to the right water room.
Okay. So I see, based on where you are standing, that you have stood back on the skull, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. A bubbling noise starts happening next to you as the eye socket of the skull begins bleeding out liquid, red liquid,
And as
familiar
soon as Zippo gets
liquid.
that he is running. He's booking it. He's running back.
You coming
I think
back
it's
this
coming
way?
back again. Yeah.
Okay.
I posted. He's coming back. I think it's coming back again.
Damn it.
Man, can you?
We don't have to go back through the trap room. I believe we can go through the maze to get back to the water because we left arrows.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go up that way.
Right. Yeah. Let's run down this this shit, where is it? This passage down here.
Okay, so this is the naturally formed intersection.
Oh,
There's a
shit.
small centipede evidence here.
Right.
Yeah. You're
Right.
talking about the big passage here, correct?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Minna. Okay, the
Yeah,
one line
as
with
soon as-
statues.
Yep. As soon as we start to hear that bubbling, let's run down this corridor,
Okay, you do so.
following Yarvik.
Let me remember how to do this. Wait, no, that's the Basilisk Passage, right?
Nope, this is fine. Keep going.
It is, but it isn't.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It's a good passage. It all loops back.
Oh, okay. Green arrow up here. Oh, no, okay. Ah, here we are.
Okay, and it appears Ulrich has been separated from the group.
Sorry, I am trying to. I'm moving two characters, so I'm trying to keep up with everyone.
I'll move Belzium for you. Ah, it seems my Ember Quill has run out. That makes sense. Alright, so Roger, you're at the place where the door that Zippo placed is, which means
Yep.
that the path here would be where that pool is that you saw.
I'm gonna cast. I forgot to cast Dark Vision on Ulrich and I.
Just take 2 spell slots. I kind of assume that you do it, so that's fine.
Got it.
All right. I will get, I guess, here, but not any closer.
Okay.
And when I get to here, I'll check the parchment one more time.
Okay. The parchment is actually blank here.
Interesting.
Is the water clear here, or
It's moving swiftly. I'll describe it again. So this is you can hear from this direction the loud sound of the waterfall. You can just make the edge of the potential cliff on this side. The water is moving quite fast and is dark. Every once in a while, the water ripples as if something is just beyond the water.
Zippo's gonna pull out one of his gem from Atlan,
Mm-hmm.
and in water and just in primordial, but for water, he's gonna be like, "Is there any friends here that can help us?"
Your words echo into the silence. Or
That didn't work.
echo into the caverns, I should say. The silence is the wrong term with a loud waterfall this way.
What should I try to put my hand in the water, or
That sounds crazy. Grab a stick or something.
yeah, but I don't want to lose the gem.
You don't use a stick that doesn't have a gem in it.
Yeah, just use it here. Just use a regular arrow, and I hand him a regular arrow, not one of the special ones.
Okay, I throw the regular arrow into the water.
Something bubbles beyond the surface, and the arrow comes back up, or bits of the arrow come back up in pieces.
Okay, so don't go in the water, boys.
So that's bad. Yep. Bye.
Maybe he just didn't like arrows. I was going to toss a small knife into the water.
Okay. The water bubbles. Nothing comes back up.
Okay. Going to throw a torch into the water.
Okay.
Unlit, of course.
The water, or it hits the surface. Something thrashes at it, and it gets taken underneath. You see further on, it splashed here. It comes back up here in pieces.
Okay. It was going to throw a crowbar into the water.
Okay. The crowbar does not come back up. More bubbling.
Okay. And then Zippo's going to holler out a couple different times in Infernal, and then all the forms of Primordial, which is all the elemental languages like Earth, Air, Fire, and Water. And he's going to just be like, hey, I don't know if you're in here and you just like metal things, but I can give you more metal things if you can tell me the secret code to that door.
Nothing responds.
Zippo is going to throw in a hammer.
Okay. The hammer sinks to the bottom, but the handle seems to have a piece of it come up and float off and down. So it seems like the hammer was damaged.
Zippo's going to throw in 10 pitons or pitons,
Okay.
however you pronounce that,
Aiton.
and a tinderbox.
Okay. Roger, make a perception check.
Alrighty. 20.
From behind Zippo, you see something coming out of the water to try and begin wrapping around his leg. Looks like a tentacle.
I'm going to say Zippo move and pull out my bow and try to shoot that tentacle.
Okay. Make an attack.
Jesus Christ. I guess it hasn't acted in combat yet.
It has not.
I'll make my advantage roll here.
Does Zippo move?
Yeah, Zippo steps back.
Okay.
And when
Does a 29 hit?
It
That's a
does.
crit, my
Natural.
friend. Yeah.
It's a crit if it hits regardless. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
and question for you. When Zippo's moving back, can he hit it with something? Like a shocking grasp? Like hit the tentacle while he's trying to move away from it?
If you'd like.
It's a 20 hit.
It does, yeah.
9 lightning damage.
Cool. And roll damage, Roger.
to remind me, is a crit roll damage twice, or is it roll damage once and then double it?
For
If you
longbow,
click on
is it
longbow,
doubled?
it should do it for you. Yeah, when you click you clicked on the first one. Yeah, you have to roll a second time then. Because it's double damage for crit. There you go.
26 and 27, which is 53.
Okay, plus the 9 from Zippo's touch. Okay, Zippo moved 5 feet, so it's not moving out of its attack range. All right. A giant squid-looking creature bursts from the water with dozens of tentacles flailing around and it roars in pain as it's hit by this attack by Roger, which basically does enough damage that it cleanly takes off the tentacle and it's writhing around next to Zippo.
We stake the tentacle to the ground.
Yeah, basically into the sand of that area. So my question is, do you stand and fight, or are you moving away from the creature? Because this is there's a phrase I'm going to say if you stand and fight, and then there's a phrase I'm going to say if you decide to leave the situation.
Well, folks, do we want to fight a thing that looks like it's probably a kraken, or do you want to?
My goal is to get out of this dungeon, and this does not further the goal of getting out of this dungeon.
But if
Yeah.
the clue is up here, then
Well,
we have to fight it.
Your paper was blank here, right?
That doesn't mean anything.
That means plenty for me.
All right.
All right, Ulrich, are you moving or going? Or moving or staying?
Ulrich's moving away.
Roger, are you moving or staying?
I'll move away.
Zippo, are you moving or staying?
I'll move, and as he's moving, he'll holler back at Infernal. Sorry I had to hurt you, buddy. You shouldn't have tried to grab me.
Okay.
I'm not sorry.
I'll move Belzian. All right. As you're moving away, Zippo, it gets attack of opportunity against you. What's your AC?
14.
Okay. Just for ease sake, it does miss, but barely. Oh, that would have been fun. All right, so you're able to move away as it snatches at you and kind of fills the passage with tentacles as it's reaching for both you and Roger as you are the last two out.
How do we get back to the bridge? Wasn't there like a hill going up?
So the
On the other
bridge
side?
is currently by a door here. It's back the way you came. Zippo made a door, so that's what that flat wall is after the... Yeah. So I can open that door for
Open the
you.
door.
Let me just get to dynamic lighting. There you go.
There was some kind of passage up past the waterfall, wasn't there?
The passages past the waterfall was the centipede path, and then the path you took to get here.
Well, that bowl had to come from somewhere.
Help, I'm stuck in the wall.
Got you.
Thank you.
Right? I mean, that's sound logic. The bowl had to come from somewhere. We didn't see it previously.
True.
But at this point, we don't have the... Like, where's the cutoff for the clue message?
I'll check the scroll.
So the scroll is currently reading the passage about the leap of faith.
Right. So...
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Maybe. What are we missing? when we were at the well, the eternal well, did it say the same thing that it already says about the clue and the exit?
I don't know. We should go check.
Let's go check.
I think it's this way. Yeah.
I got Belzium for you.
Thanks.
I'll come over to the well and read the inscription. I believe there was one.
Yep, there's 2 symbols on the wall and then the hole in the floor and ceiling. The 2 symbols on the wall, one is a symbol for well, one is a symbol for eternity. It reads
What's
the
the
well
symbol
of
for
eternity.
What do those symbols
What's the
look
symbol
like?
for- Yeah.
One looks like a U with a arched roof on it. The other symbol I posted in the OOC last session, but I will pin it for you now so that you have it. Let me just scroll up to it so I can get it.
The M one?
Yeah, it kind of looks
Yeah.
like an M.
Is that the one for eternity?
Yeah, that's the one for eternity, yes.
Like, we know the symbol, boys.
Well, we got it.
All right, it's pinned.
You know what's
Alright.
really upsetting? I almost did an M.
Thought about it too, but
Yep.
Okay.
Well, let's go back to that door.
I get
Yeah.
it. Well.
You
Alright.
know, it's like meeting unspeakable horrors. Just kind of melt your mind for this stuff.
I was never an expert on riddles.
I do most of my solving through violence.
Arguably, it's the thing I'm the worst at, aside from being strong.
No bubbly creature right now.
There seems to be no bubbly creature at play, although you do hear something down the passage, down this direction here.
Alright, that sounds like a later problem.
All right. Now that you have returned back, let's move on to the door.
So let's compare that symbol to the door. I don't think we want to go all the way to the top. I think you're looking at something like this.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'll trace out that.
Okay. The symbols glow, or the symbol, sorry, the thing that you depicted glows, but it fades.
All right, I'll try it Zippo's way, and we'll. Oh Jesus fucking Christ!
It looks like Zippo's.
My mouse hates right clicking.
I'm sorry.
And then go here and then down.
All right, the pattern lights up, it glows bright, and the left side of the door disappears in that pattern. So these panels disappear all the way down to the ground. The rest stay. You see a passage on the other side.
Let's go.
Hey. They called us stupid.
The
They actually
doorknob
thought we were smart.
disappears as soon as the symbol activated, by the way.
Let's get through there before that pops back up in the well of eternity and this closes.
As we're going through,
That's-
Zippo's gonna be like, "My shiny."
Come on, this is like a key, like all other keys in the world. As soon as you use it, it evaporates.
I don't use keys a lot. I just kind of break doors, so I wouldn't know.
All right, everybody's through the door.
Yes.
Yeah.
After about 30 seconds, the door restores itself. It looks exactly the same on this side.
Fucking called it.
Except there's no pit, by the way.
What's
Do
that?
we get the,
Except there's no pit.
We don't happen
So-
to get the knob back, do we?
No, there's no knob on the side.
The knob's probably falling down that pit again.
That makes sense, I guess.
Onward.
Good work. Nice find.
You know what they say? 17th time's the charm.
I'll count and post.
No,
No,
that's okay.
Please do. I want to know how many times we failed.
I am curious. Yeah, it's a good thing there wasn't a fail consequence on this one. But like, no, it's a pattern. It's not something that's brute forceable, but is a fun thing once you figure it out. So very good, very good.
I mean, we could brute force it. It would just take a long time.
Yeah. All right. So this area is more seems to be natural cave. The cave continues on a basically 15 by 15 diameter passage, but bends north and south, but still continues along a single vein. No interruptions. No creatures seem to have been in this area in a long time. The air is fairly flat and stale. It's breathable, but it seems like it almost kind of triggers some claustrophobia for those of you who are not used to the underground, like Zippo. Zippo, you're fine. You feel more comfortable than you have for most of this campaign. Being that, you're used to being underground, and every time you're outside of being underground, you kind of have disadvantage on a lot of things because of that stupid bright sun, right? So, eventually, another door comes into view. The door looks like this.
I will check the scroll.
Okay. I think I copied that correctly. There you go.
Oh boy, this is a long one. Let's copy that to my
Mhm.
notes. And then I'll say it out loud.
Wait, are we missing the top? It starts with will flow anew.
Nope. Next
Time
to
askew will flow anew. Where light is simple stand, columns 2 in front of you, their median should leave stand.
Okay.
Port dials wind and counter time, while starboard proper clock, should you inspect and turn correct, the center will unlock.
I will also say I'll need somebody to be the turner for this one.
Let's have Yarvik do it since he hasn't had control of any of these so far.
Yarvik has absolutely no interest in this. This is word salad to him. He's just like, what?
That's perfect. That means you won't have tricksy ideas and mess up whatever we think of.
Sure, Yarvik will stand here and turn dials.
Port dials, wind, encounter time.
All of
Port.
these look really similar to Tolv's symbol, right?
Indeed.
Do these, by chance, spin?
Yarvik spins one.
Which one do you spin? If you could just click on
The
one.
one in the middle left.
Middle left? Okay. So to spin, what you'll need to do you see when you hit it that there's like a little box at the top that's kind of jutting out of it up there? Or is that just
I
me?
see it.
Okay, you can rotate it by clicking on that and turning it.
Yeah, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
And this is made of stone?
So yeah, this whole door is made out of a dark stone. There seem to be channels that run along the left-hand side, the right-hand side, and diagonally across the top two to the bottom two. A lock is in the middle, and a lock, there does seem to be a frame to the door as well. The door is framed to the left, right, and above with an alcove. It seems to be set into the stone from there.
Okay. Is there any indication of facing for any of these dials?
No.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to take a piece of chalk and draw on whatever is currently facing up for all 6 of them.
Okay, even the one that Yarvik just turned?
Right, because Yarvik turns the.
It's back. I'm gonna turn it back
Do you remember how much you turned it?
90 degrees. It has a little box. I can see where I turned.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
fortunate thing.
Okay, so just out the gates, Ulrich is going to say, "All right, there's a few things. If we assume that up is like the bow, right, the right hand side's starboard, the left hand side's port. The clocks on the left need to turn counterclockwise, and the ones on the right need to turn right. But we also need their median should leave stand. I would assume that the middle clocks should not be turned.
Oh, well. That sounds reasonable. Port dials wind encounter time. Port dials wind encounter time, perhaps.
Right.
So we should turn those counterclockwise.
Yeah.
And turn correct could mean turn to the right,
Correct.
which would be clockwise.
Correct. So I think we just need to do one turn of the top and bottom left to the left, and one turn of the top and bottom right to the right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure.
Before we do that, let's mark which positions are up on each of these,
Agreed.
so that we have a reference to return them to their original state. Or at least what appears to be their original state. Yeah, so this one should turn. Are we moving it a full rotation or just?
Yeah, I think we should go as little as possible.
Okay, we'll rotate it. I guess one clock face. Counterclockwise for the port ones, and one clock face clockwise for the corners of the starboard, the right ones.
Do I have to actually turn all of these, or can I just say that we turned all of these?
You can say that you turned them. I can do that for you. Of course, you put the markings right where I need to grab.
Oh, got it.
Huh. Okay, so you turn it 1. All right. And you do the same for each. Okay, so you can just mark where it's pointing now. we'll just do it that way, just for simplicity's sake. Is that fair?
Yeah, so I believe we have that one pointed there, and those.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the two in the middle still facing up, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And if nothing happens when that, then we'll rotate each of them one further notch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, still nothing.
I think this is going to be silly, but I kind of have a suspicion that the ultimate thing is we just keep going that way until they go here. But
Sure.
obviously, we just do this incrementally, just in case there's anything that happens along the way that we need to be worried about.
Okay. Can everybody see that now?
No.
Okay. How about now?
Mm.
The top left one, when it reaches this diagonal, activates with a light facing inward toward the
Oh.
lock.
Yes, I do see that. It's just overlapping with Ulrich's red.
Oh, yeah, sure is.
At the same time, the other one opposite of it does the same thing, because presumably they're being turned the same amount at the same time.
Yeah.
You continue turning the bottom ones, I assume?
Yep, in the correct directions.
Okay. These two also activate. As well. These diagonal lines and the lines that make the hourglass, the sideways hourglass, all light up. But the key itself, the square in the middle, is not lit.
I'm gonna
So it
grab.
So it says median. Do we turn the two on the sides directly towards the lock in their respective directions?
Yeah, it could be.
For both of those, that's 270-degree rotation.
Yep, just 270 or negative 270.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we rotate them the long way around.
As soon as you rotate either one in any direction, the entire thing stops glowing and the dials spin and reset.
Okay. All right.
Understood.
All right.
I'm just gonna leave it as it is, presuming that you'll probably reset those to what they were.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll put them back.
All right. Their median should leave stand. Columns 2 in front of you, their median should leave stand. Encounter time, what's 12 o'clock?
Where light is simple sand. Where is light simple sand? Beach?
Median should leave stand. I mean, just out of curiosity,
Mhm.
what if we turn the middle ones? Obviously, everything resets, but we turn the middle ones so that when we turn them, we get them that 270, so they're both going the correct directions, the clockwise on the right and counterclockwise on the left.
You're
Get
talking
them
about
so that,
these two?
yeah,
Okay.
the two middle ones. Get them so they're like that, and then after we do that,
Mhm.
we do the turning of the other ones.
Okay. Um, you do the turning of the other ones, and nothing lights up.
Okay.
So,
So
sand's gonna flow, right? So I guess we just have to time askew will flow into where light is simple sand. Columns 2 in front of you, median should leave stand. Should respect and turn back center will unlock. So sand's through an hourglass is gonna flow in one direction, right?
Up
So
the bottom?
we turn one 270 and then we turn the other one 90.
okay. All right, that's very good. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
And then we just have to pick which one. But sorry, I wasn't holding down my PTT. How do I erase?
you,
Just select and delete.
yeah, you have to select what you drew.
yeah. Be careful if you have control over the dials, you might accidentally delete the. You need to use the little selector tool. The thing that looks like an arrow.
I can clear drawings if you'd like.
Okay.
Got him. So yeah, that's a very good point. This is hourglass shaped. Our time would be flowing through in a particular way.
Put that back.
Hit Control Z.
Yeah, it's not working.
Oh, that's fine. Can always bring it in again. All right.
So let's turn the left one all the way left until it's facing towards the right. And let's turn the right one towards the right. So that the sand is going through that way.
Okay. So you're pointing toward the right-hand side, both of those, and then you
Yep.
turn the dials.
Yep. Of course, turning all of them the directions, left for the left and right for the right.
Yeah. Okay. As you do this, all of the lines begin to glow, and the center glows.
Damn, that was real smart, Yarvik. That was good.
I was going to suggest punching the door.
That's a good idea too, Zippo.
All right. So everything is glowing now.
But the lock's still there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, we're getting somewhere.
Maybe
And
try
yeah,
pushing on the lock.
high fives.
We tried turning the entire door.
How are you planning to accomplish that? Just out of curiosity. Are you grabbing like the frame of the door, the top of the door to try and turn it? Like, what's the plan?
I have a strength score of 13. I'm gonna let somebody else do that.
Well,
Sure.
before we do that. So time is flowing, but maybe time is not flowing in the right direction. So why don't we reverse the flow and see what happens?
Yeah, that's a wise thing to do.
No time travel.
Okay, you mess with the middle dials and the whole puzzle resets.
right.
So you're trying to point them in the other direction now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to do everything we did before, but we want the time dials to flow to the left instead of to the right.
Got it. Okay. Um, Nothing lights up when you do the pattern.
Okay, so it is towards the right.
Maybe just turn the right one towards the right and leave the left one facing left.
That was already tried.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I must have misheard it.
All right, so we reset it to the way that lit everything up.
Okay, everything is now lit again.
And then Ulrich just pushes on the door or the lock in particular.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check or athletics.
Sure. Just a 15.
Okay. The door doesn't seem to budge, though it seems you can just make out the tracings of a line in the center of the door. It seems like if the lock were unlocked, it would bow inward and open inward from where you are, splitting the entire hourglass in half.
Close to. And does the lock? Can you twist the lock at all?
The lock seems to be a keyhole.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if like there's anything to grasp or touch or pull on or.
There's nothing. It's kind of a smooth lock with a lighter stone than the rest. You can kind of just fit your pinky into the hole. It seems like it's got a definite shape to it.
What happens when you look through the keyhole?
So you look through the key.
Sure.
You can see on the other side more of a stone passage.
Well, more passage after this. So yay.
Right. Well. Shoot. Turn correct. Lock.
So it says light is simple sand. Do we need a light source? Do we like is light the key?
I mean, maybe. I light a torch.
Okay. The torch lights the area, lighting up the door itself, the frame around the door, and the stone all around you with a faint red glow from the fire. It does not seem to affect the door in any way, but it does illuminate it more than the low light from the door itself. Not that that really does anything, since each of you can see in darkness at the moment. Are you using this point in time to inspect the door, or are you just kind of trying to like push the fire against it, or like what's your thought process?
Definitely inspecting the door for anything we may be missing.
Okay, feel free to make an inspection check.
Zippo's gonna look around. Is there any like loose rubble, like dirt around in these caves that he can grab a handful of?
Yeah, there's loose pebbles here and there.
Is there any that's like more like a kind of like a softer, like not softer, but a more like a sandy type? Like it's not sand, but it's rubble that's been crushed down pretty good.
There's mud.
Okay, Zippo's gonna get some mud and mix it with the pebbles and put it on the keyhole.
Okay.
This really lagged out. So you'll see a couple of inspection checks, but just the first one.
Okay. They were both 6, so it worked out. And another 6, so it was probably just rolling the same thing. Otherwise, you just got really unlucky and got rid of some really bad rolls all at once, which is not bad either. All right, so Zipper, what are you doing with the clay?
He's trying to make it like let me double check a wording real fast. Lights, thrust out a candle or torch, clean or soil an object, clean, warm. I can if I kind of dry up the mud, like warm the mud, would it dry it any?
Maybe slightly, but not much.
Not much. Okay. Zippo's gonna try to take the mud and stuff and like put it on the center, like where the lock is, and just put it on there.
Okay. I'll give you the same description that I gave Ulrich and the rest of you. It's a door made out of stone. There seems to be a faint line that shows that the door opens in a two-way, going potentially inward based on what Ulrich, his push did. There seems to be a rim around the door, both on the sides and on the top, that make the door jut out from the stone a slight bit.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, Zippo was just trying to see if like where it said, sand and stuff, if he could get some dirt on there and see if it.
I see. So like giving the hourglass sand.
Yeah.
I like it. It doesn't seem to have any effect, but I really like that idea.
Hey, I just realized something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read the time askew with flow anew, where light is simple sand, columns 2 in front of you. Okay. Leaving the middle ones the direction they're supposed to be, or if everything resets when we do this, the middle ones need to go the direction they're going to go, right? We need to turn the top towards the right, the top ones towards the right, to get them to face the way they are, and the bottom ones towards the left, because the point of port and starboard is that they are. It's always right and left from the perspective of the ship, not from the perspective of the viewer. The ship is askew. Time is askew here. So if we were to write this timepiece, it would be facing, it would be a 90-degree turn. So the right hand side is the top and the left hand side is the bottom.
I'm gonna give you a free insight check.
Okay.
I feel like you're pretty sure that you've solved the riddle. You're just missing a key element.
5.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a free insight check. So as in, like, you feel like with everything glowing that the riddle is solved. You're just missing a key element.
We're missing the key that goes in the middle. Man, if only I had shape water.
I have a set of lockpicks.
Hey, my boy.
Can I, once we've got it back in that position, can I attempt to use my thieves' tools?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty. I believe that's just a straight proficiency check,
Yes.
unless
Did like a thieves tool set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because you have proficiency with thieves' tools.
so that'll be d20 plus 4 then. Um, seven.
Okay, you break the lock pick off in the lock. You're able to pull it out, but you break the pick.
How many picks just comes in the set?
It does not specify in the slightest.
Which means at least 12.
I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
11.
All right. You're able to open the lock. You hear a distinct click as you turn the lockpick to the right, and the door begins to open inward slightly.
Okay.
I didn't even have to make a pit this time.
Shall we?
Indubitably.
This will finish pushing the door open if it's not open wide enough for us to go through yet.
Okay, as the door separates, a key falls from the top ledge of the door and onto the ground. It appears to be a silver key.
I'll pick it up.
Okay.
Got another shiny.
The key is roughly the same size and shape as the lock that you just picked.
I don't get why.
The key was on the opposite side of the door, Ulrich. This lock is of relic make, presumably.
Yeah. Okay.
Just trying to line it up. It's not
The
cooperating.
elves had their door. Why wouldn't the barbarians have their door?
That's fair. That's fair.
Is there anything on the opposite side of the door?
Yes, the exact same makeup.
Interesting.
Hot dog.
Ooh. Well, we'll take the key
Onwards
with
we
us.
go.
Once you get within 15 feet of the door, you feel that whoever's holding the key is feeling a force that is pulling them back by the key.
Oh, we can't take the key with us.
Throw the key in a bag of holding. Now we could throw the key back. If Zippo, while he's holding the key, if he feels it pulling, he'll be like, fine then, and he'll just toss it backwards.
Okay. As the door shuts behind you, once 30 seconds have gone by, the key is drawn up the door and into place.
So easy to open from this side, but not from the other side.
Yep. Well,
Now that you're looking, you can just see that there is a small hole at the top of the door that could be reached from both sides.
yeah, when we pushed in, I think I could have maybe reached my hand up in there.
Yes, if you had made an inspection of higher than a 6, you probably would have noticed the key up there.
Yeah. That's kind of part of why I was chuckling.
Yeah. All right. The passage continues. You travel for about 30 or 40 feet, and you notice that things are starting to get weird. The stone around you begins becoming smooth and almost looks like it's melted and stirred in circular patterns. I've got something for this. It looks like in some places the stone is even cracked and buckled. The rock seems to be melted together, so you see different variants of rock and kind of layers. And it's smooth and kind of in a slithering pattern. Not really from a creature, more like in a randomized pattern. There's no stalactites, there's no anything. It just seems like this whole passage seems to be smoothed out and in randomized swirling patterns. As you continue down this passage, you notice the remains of a third door. The door is all but completely destroyed. You can see a door frame, and in front of it, on both sides of the frame, is a circle with 5 discs in it. If there were any patterns on these discs, they are long gone, and the discs are damaged and unturnable. The door itself looks like it was broken, like a great weight has crushed it, and holes seem to be melted into the rock and metal that was once the door. The entire area feels very unnatural and gives you a familiar, unsettling feeling.
We must be beneath where the wall was.
Yeah. All right. That'd be it.
I guess that's we're getting close then, at least.
Yep. We may yet see the backside of this tunnel soon.
Good news, everyone.
Says Belzian.
Indeed.
That sounds like something that Belzian would say. Good news, everyone.
Yeah, I actually thought that he popped in for a second. I know he couldn't make it tonight.
Yeah. All right. Do you continue?
Yeah.
Is that a yeah for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
So says the Zippo, so says we all.
All right. You put your backs on the destroyed door and head in a northerly direction. The cave begins to slope upwards somewhat, very gradually. There's also several legs to this cave that you kind of bend upward, or not upward, but like to the west and then the east and then back north. But it's all still one passage. Up ahead, you see that the cave seems to open up to what seems to be a larger cavern.
As we're getting closer, the bush is getting real good. He's like, I think we're gonna see dragons.
Are you?
And as he's saying that, he's gonna look down at Brunhild and be like, "You're gonna see your family soon, Brunhild."
Just out of curiosity, have paper saying anything?
I'll check the scroll.
Okay. So as you approach the entrance to this larger cavern, the paper reads, "Do not disturb that which rests. The whites of eyes will kill you best."
Do not disturb that which rests. The whites of eyes will kill you best.
Yeah, and I'll put that in chat. Sorry.
Well, I'm just gonna say that does not sound good. It sounds like if something sees us, we're dead.
Just don't get up close to it. Don't look at the whites of their eyes.
All right. Do you look into the cavern?
Yes.
Okay, Zippo. You look into the cavern, and you see that there's an exit to this large cavern on the other side. It seems to be a passage that continues on in a similar size to this one. To the right, the cavern opens up some, and you see an incredibly big humanoid figure. It reminds you of the statues you saw in the Valley of Statues out in the Axe Clan lands. This figure has blue skin and a white beard, is resting on a huge throne. Behind him lays somewhere between 17 to 20 chests and several stacks of gold. The figure seems to be asleep.
I'm gonna guess that's the guy we're not supposed to wake up.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah. As much as I really want to see what's in those chests, I also really want to meet dragons, and he doesn't seem like a dragon to me. I don't know what dragons look like.
I'll also note that this figure seems to be heavily armored and has a weapon resting on its lap. It seems to be a long sword with a bend toward the end and a hook. A wicked-looking hook.
Yeah, I don't feel like I could live that. I don't feel like I could live that. I'm down to just leave.
And as you're debating whether or not what to do, Zippo saying, I don't think I want to handle that. We're going to end session there.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun.
All right. So we'll pick up next time with this room and whatever remains left of this passage. But you made some excellent progress today. I know riddles isn't everybody's thing, but you guys handled those pretty well for what was given to you and the hints that you had. I think you did an excellent job. Thank you for joining me, and we will be back in 3 weeks. We're going to be back on the 24th since we did a week early this week. Everybody still good with the 24th?
Yeah.
That should be fine.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed the riddles quite a lot.
Good. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me, everyone, and we will be back in 3 weeks. Have a good day.
See you then.
Bye.
See you.